Hare Gange Mahadev Sri Shankara Parvati Pati Mahadev Sri Shankara.
Namaste, it's Sahara Rose, and welcome back to the Highest Self Podcast, a place where we discuss what makes you your soul's highest evolvement. And before we get started, I have an announcement for you. So on my own spiritual journey, I realized that I wasn't resonating with more information. I always felt like there was another book, another thing to do, another way to become, and I was really yearning for a form of spirituality that invited my whole self, my femininity, my creativity, my desire to be in my physical body, in my pleasure, in my joy, in my heart, in my womb, in my dance. For me, spirituality is not about leaving the body, but really about being so immersed in it that you become one with it. So this month in Rose Gold Goddesses, the Sacred Sisterhood Collective, all about embodying the goddess within, we are diving deep into Shakti, which is this principle, this essence of divine feminine wisdom. I take you on a journey to learn about how Shakti shows up in you, how she is your breath, your body, your desire to be immersed in all things rather than separate from it. We dive deep into the differences between spirit and soul, and I guide you through practices and rituals to connect more to the Shakti essence that lives inside of you. The path of the goddess is not to detach yourself from the world enough that you can handle being in it, but rather creating the world you desire to be a part of. And that is what we are doing this month in Rose Gold Goddesses. So if this is calling your name, you're seeking to make dance and embodiment your spiritual practice, then come join us in this Rose Gold Goddesses circle. It is included in your membership at rosegoldgoddesses.com, or you can try it on its own at rosegoldgoddesses.com/Shakti. You can find those links in the show notes, and I'm super excited to invite you inside. I wanted to hop on the mic the week before my book is coming out to share a little bit of more downloads for you around living your Dharma, living your soul's purpose. So if you don't know yet, or if it's your first time tuning in, my new book, Discover Your Dharma, is coming out January 5th. This has been 2 years in the works. It is a Vedic guide to finding your purpose using concepts from Ayurveda, ancient Vedic wisdom. This is the sister science of yoga based on the mind-body connection, and concepts that I've come up with over the past decade of taking my idea into a blog, into multiple books and courses and memberships and speaking engagements, and really a global movement at this point. And the question that I would always get from people when I was writing these books or working with Deepak Chopra and really expanding into my voice and into my truth was how are you doing this? How are you modernizing ancient wisdom for a living and able to be so confident in doing so? And I realized that the story behind the story was the how. And that's when I really began to speak more about living your Dharma, your soul's purpose, which I've been speaking about on this podcast for the past 3.5 years, twice a week, every week. And now really all of the concepts, the frameworks, the systems, the modalities, everything that I've come up with, all of this beautiful intellectual property is available for you in Discover Your Dharma to literally plug right into and see, what are my Dharma archetypes? What is the Dharma blueprint? How am I going to take action on this? What are my main fears? What are the mediums I'm the best at, etc.? I literally guide you through a process that anyone could read this book and walk away with a clearer sense of knowing what their Dharma is like that. And I'm so grateful because when I was writing the book, it wasn't always so easy, and, editors and stuff typically aren't really into this work. And it actually made me think of it in a simpler and simpler way of how could this work for someone who has never even thought about what their purpose is, or who feels so far away from it, or who really needs a step-by-step approach. So I'm so proud of this book now because I was able to make something as enormous and complex and daunting as finding your purpose and put it in a way that feels so digestible and fun and engaging and accessible for every single person. And that is what is available for you in Discover Your Dharma, which comes out January 5th. So I have some amazing pre-order bonuses, including tickets to my virtual book launch where I'll be answering your questions on living your purpose, like on a Zoom call, we'll be diving in. My Discover Your Dharma meditation. If you get 4 copies, you can get material to create your own Discover Your Dharma book club, 10 copies to teach it to your class, maybe your yoga teacher or your community, your HR company, whatever it is that you work at. So all of that is available for you at iamsahararose.com/dharma, DHARMA. And if you're listening to this after January 5th and the book is out, I will also have some bonuses available for you on iamsahararose.com/dharma, including my tapping for your Dharma practice, my Dharma embodiment practice, meditation, and so much more. So wherever you order it, it is available globally. And then submit your receipt over on my website so you can get access to those bonuses. So good. Okay, so I really want to hop on the mic today to speak about something that continually comes up even for me. And I want to share this because oftentimes we think it's like, okay, I'm not living my Dharma and then I am living my Dharma. And like, that's it. Then once I'm living my Dharma, like all problems are gone. And that's not really how it works. I wish, but your Dharma is going to require different iterations of you to show up, different ways that you are using those gifts, different ways that you are channeling your soul's expression. It's not always going to be in the same way. And oftentimes it's going to ask for you to show up in ways that don't make sense. So that's something that I am experiencing in this moment. And I think so many of us have experienced of really feeling guided to make a decision that doesn't feel like the thing that you should do next, or doesn't seem like the beaten path, or feels risky or weird or just not understandable by people around you. And that's why I share it's not just about finding your purpose, but it's about trusting it. Because you can discover your Dharma and not trust your Dharma, and you're not going to embody it. These are very different things. We all have a purpose. Every single person born on this planet was born with a purpose, and that's why their soul chose to incarnate at this time in this body with these circumstances. That's all part of your soul's unique curriculum for you to embody your Dharma. However, are you going to say yes to it? Because we all have free will. The moment we get on this planet, even though we have this great Dharma, this great destiny, we have free will. And we can choose to make choices that are not in alignment with our Dharma and move extremely far away from it. And those choices may feel like the logical thing to do, or what people around you are telling you to do. And these may be even people you love and you trust. But what they're saying to you right now doesn't feel in alignment with your Dharma. And the truth is, only you know. And the more that you honor it, the more it will unfold. And living your Dharma, it's not a linear path. We are so used to our school system, our educational system, our corporate structures, et cetera, to be so linear. Okay, you go to stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, grade 1, grade 3. You go up the corporate ladder, whatever it is. It's like this very clear hierarchical structure. And that's not how your Dharma works. In the podcast I just did on ascension versus embodiment, I share how your Dharma is not a linear process. In fact, it's more like a spiral. Because you find your way towards understanding something, and then you go on, you continue on your journey, and you come back to that same thing with a deeper realization. And then you go away and you continue living your life, and you come back to that same thing with an even deeper realization. That's how the spiral goes. It never ends. And that's what living your Dharma is. It never ends. There will always be new sides of yourself to bring out, new iterations, new phases, new excitements. And that's really what the Dharma blueprint process is about. It's not a one-time fix. Every time you do this practice, which is in the book in chapter 9, every time you do this practice, you're going to come up with something different according to who you are at this given moment. So your Dharma is not just this like 1, 2, 3 Dharma, that's it, I'm done. And truthfully, doing your Dharma is the greatest personal development work you can do. You know, so many times we look for things to help equip us for doing our Dharma. You know, I need more education, I need more training, I need more coaching, I need more this, I need more that. And this isn't everyone, but if it's you, you know who I'm talking to. And the thing is, nothing can prepare you for doing your Dharma in the way that doing your Dharma can. It's kind of like I can tell you how to swim, but it's not until you're in the water that you're going to figure it out for yourself. And as much as I tell you, okay, move your arms this way and then tread, and here's how you breathe, you're not going to feel it and really get the embodied practice of it until it's you in that water, feeling like you might drown and trusting that your body knows how to swim. And that's what living your Dharma is like. It's not something that you can figure out on the sidelines. It's not something that's a spectator sport. This is a whole part of the book writing about how Dharma is not a spectator sport. You can't plan for it, try to get it all figured out, and then finally do it. It's from the doing it that you get prepared for it. It's by signing up, saying yes, moving forward, taking action, hitting publish, applying, whatever that looks like for you. So I really wanted to share this because I think so many of us are being guided by our dharmas right now at this time, at this shift between 2020 and 2021, 2020 being a year of so much clearing, so much deep shadow work. I did this episode on the greatest lessons of 2020, which you can check out just a couple episodes ago. And some of the biggest lessons for me were realizing that you can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. And really what that means is you can try to make your Dharma so perfect and it may rain on your wedding day. And what are you going to do with that? So that's why we need to just get in there. We need to have the uncomfortable conversation, do the thing that feels like it's stretching us, but that's the only way that we're ever going to be able to grow. So your Dharma may be requiring you, asking you, nudging you to do something that doesn't make sense. And trust that. Honor that. Take that as if it's a whisper from the divine telling you how to move forward, even if the people around you are saying, but we really think you should do this, or we believe that it's that. They are not the ones with your Dharma. They don't know. They have their own purpose, their own codes. And that's beautiful. And you can take advice for them when the time is right. I share more of that on when to take advice in the book. But the thing that happens so often is we never let the flower of the Dharma to really blossom before we let someone else's water just completely drown it. And that's just a really, metaphorical way that kind of just came through of we don't actually live our dharmas and we let other people's fears stop us from doing so. So trust your Dharma, honor your Dharma, love your Dharma. And it is time for us to discover our dharmas. So I am so excited to share this book with you, Discover Your Dharma. So if you're inspired by these words, you're wanting to dive deeper, like this is just a little bit of a taste of what you will get in the book. So head over to iamsahararose.com/dharma. You can submit your receipt there whenever you are listening to this. Get the bonus practices, videos from me, dive in even deeper with the book. And I'm so excited to see the realizations, the downloads, the intuitive hits that you receive from reading this. Thank you for saying yes to incarnating on the planet with me at this time. I am so grateful for you, and you can find that direct link in the show notes. Namaste.